What a year this has been. And before I get into this, I do want to acknowledge that the state of the world, the state of the United States of America, where I currently live, COVID, of course, we can't ignore that. The hardships that many are enduring, and the illnesses, and so many deaths. Everything that I'm about to say in my end of year recap, I do want to acknowledge that we are on a tapestry, a canvas that is very hard for many, many people, and nothing that I say now is in detriment to that. These are hard times. These are hard times for all of us, and I'm going to acknowledge that. We all know it. You know it, I know it. But we will come out the other side of this. It won't be tomorrow, and it won't even be a few months from now. But there will be a time when we're going to game together again. We will attend conventions, we will roll dice, we will sit at the same tables, we will sit at the bar, we will have a drink. There will be those times again. And I, believe me, look forward to them just as much as you. And with that said, I do like to think that one of the things I bring to the social media world is a refuge. You don't see me talking about politics, you don't see me talking about the ills and the woes of what's going on in the world. Not because they don't deserve to be spoken about, but because a lot of much more eloquent people than I are already talking about them. I am a refuge. I am a refuge of miniature painting, quirkiness, all things nerdy, all things geeky, and mapping. And for my end of 2020 recap, and in looking forward to 2021, that's where I want to keep my message focused for now. So with that said, let's talk about what we have done this year. Because we've actually done some great things, and in a way, some sad things. Look at this map. This is a beautiful map. This was actually for GabbyCon 12. The first major convention that never was. I got to attend TotalCon earlier part of this year before the whole COVID thing hit, before everything started to go into lockdown. But just prior to that, I think a large portion of the gaming world, we were really gearing up for GabbyCon. And this was going to be a special one for me. I was going all out. I had some large canvas prints for auction, some large canvas prints I was going to give to some people, some attendees there. And I drew this map. And so for me, as a cartographer, drawing the GabbyCon guide, or I should say the guide map, was incredibly humbling. And if I labor on that too much, I think I will even cry. This map probably meant more to me than most projects I've worked on. It was GabbyCon, connecting to my pure roots. And at the end of the day, I feel it came out really, really good. We spent a lot of time dialing in the hotels. I'm going to call it geography, because it is a crazy hotel to walk around in. Getting it right, evolving what had been done in previous years to something I think ended up looking absolutely beautiful. And I will be honest with you, I was really happy with how the colours came out on this one. Like, really happy. I felt like I represented, and I am deeply saddened, deeply, that it never got to see the audience that it was intended for. But this will still be one of my happiest and proudest maps that I've ever done, bar none. This was a great way to start 2020. We then worked on this beauty, Light Harbor. Light Harbor was for nobledwarf.com. It's part of their world. Nobledwarf.com carry all of my merchandising line, but they do all of their own merchandising line as well. And this was the largest city map that I did in 2020. And it's beautiful. I love it. We did a lot of new things with this one, whether it be the seaweed underneath the water or the scummy area, the industrial area. There's a huge amount of detail on this. Just the palace region alone here. You know, it took me 2 hours to draw the palace. It took a lot longer to then do all of the colouring. I was really, really, really proud to be able to do this for nobles. The nobles, I call them the nobles. And I will say, actually, while we're on that note, that's one of the things I'm really happy about with 2020 is I forged a deeper, more meaningful relationship with Noble Dwarf that I think will hopefully stand the test of many years to come. So, Noble Dwarf, love you guys. Loved working on this map for you. See it as one of the highlights of my year. Conversely, look at Toy here. We finished this one more recently, but what a beautiful map this is. The sister map to Vicodon that we did last year. I'm really proud of this one. I'm really proud of it because it's the second one that we did that was in a Mediterranean setting. And I feel we nailed the colours on it. And we coloured it pretty quickly too. We were motoring through this one. Look at the wonderful Carthage style harbour there. The great ambience that this city has. The Athens inspired Acropolis area here. I was very, very, very happy with this. And we're way down into the details where we've got little ships being made. We've got tents, shack cities, and so on. A definite highlight and a strong way for us to end the year was on Lokatoy City for Zagora Games. I feel like every single map we do is just getting a little bit better and a little bit better each time. This was a great one. But let's not forget Gaxmore. Gaxmore for Troll Lord Games. We did it in the first half of 2020, and this was an incredible challenge. 2 iterations of Gaxmore have occurred before we did this one, and so we're going to stay honest to the canon. You need to look at this map and see Gaxmore, not something completely reinvented, and yet we've got to drag it into 2020, and we've got to do the little sprinkle of Alyssa Faden, and this is what we came up with, and I'm really happy with this one. This one had some crazy, crazy, crazy details, right down to a crashed charioteer right down here. Or if you tell me that there's a dead tree out in front in the description, then we're going to draw a dead tree out in front in the description. Conversely, if you tell me that there's a bunch of dead bodies on the steps, we're going to draw a bunch of dead bodies on the steps. This one was insanely fun. This was possibly one of the funnest maps that we did this year. Just simply down to reading the description and drawing exactly what was in the book. This one started to forge a relationship between myself and Troll Lord Games, and Troll Lord Games are really, really cool folks, and I'm grateful that we managed to do this in 2020 for them, and that it was the start of hopefully what is going to become a deeper and very long-lasting relationship. I have a lot of gratitude for this. But let's move into what we're working on now, because while we started the year strong, we're ending it even stronger, and we're going to roll into 2021 with some incredible projects. This is map 1 of, I guess, 1.5 with a side view for Necropolis, my contribution to the book that's going to be kickstarted early in 2021 by Frog God Games. Necropolis, written originally by Gary Gygax himself. We're going to be doing this in the same way that we did Teagle, and I'm talking about battle map scale. And it's going to be available, I believe, as a full-on print that you can put on the ground, just like they did with Teagle. So this is, while I vowed after Teagle that I would never do another one that insane, here we are again, doing it all over. And I'm going to zoom in real quick on one part just to give you an idea. This is obviously work in progress, but probably about that is the battle map scale right there. And you can see we're getting into the details. We're getting into the details all over. We're reading every description. And whatever it says is in the room, we're doing it. And then we're going to add that sprinkle of personality to every single one as well. So this will be a fun one. And so you're going to see a lot of this in the early months of 2021. Likewise, you are going to see Castle Keeper's Guide for Troll Lord Games. You've been seeing a lot of this in Q4 2020. We're into the colouring stage of this. And it's beginning to look as beautiful as I expected it to be. 12 maps ranging from a thorp to a hamlet to a village all the way to a metropolis, and then a Brock Tower, a Martin Bailey Castle, a marching camp, a regular castle, a greater castle, all getting drawn on one canvas because I personally think it's going to look sexy and it's going to be a brilliant poster if I can talk the trolls into it. This is going to be a great one, fully coloured. And so watch out for this being finished in the first part of 2021. And watch out for Stephen Chenault himself from Troll Lord Games joining us. Maybe I'll get him more than once, but at least once as a guest on the channel as we colour this. I think that will be a great, great, great time. Lastly, very early progress. Salt Wolves of the Whale Road for Gallant Knight Games. Watch for them in 2021. They've actually turned full-time just producing games now. This is going to be a special map. This is going to be a medieval style map of Viking raid points and their knowledge of the world. So it's going to be, I'm going to do this in a very illuminated style as if a monk captured by Vikings had drawn it. It's going to have a lot of Viking influence. It's going to have this wonderful border all the way around it. We'll have Yggdrasil probably in the bottom left there. Very, very, very highly illustrated and illuminated. This is going to be a little bit after the Britannia map that we did this year, in that ilk, where it's a type of thing where you could just print it on canvas, roll it out in front of your players, and it's going to be a center showpiece. Going to be a main map in Q1, Q2 of 2021. So really, really exciting times ahead. But let's actually talk about other things that we've been doing here and what else we've got going on. Well, 2020, there were some highlights in 2020 from my perspective, and I engaged with Pex as a social media guy who's got a small team behind him, and he's been helping keep me straight and narrow on my Patreon and all of my social channels. He's been a huge help, and you've probably seen it in the last few months of 2020. Certainly, there's a lot of me. And that's not by accident. I was neglecting a lot of things, just lack of time. If I'm drawing maps, I can't be also on Instagram and Twitter and so on and so forth. That's all changing now. I can focus on Twitch, I can focus on my personal channel, and Pex is then helping me with the rest. So you've seen a huge revamp of my Patreon, and I want to thank the people that rejoined me on there, my patrons, and my loyal patrons. It's really, really, truly appreciated. And for the surge of interest in my Twitch channel. That's been absolutely fantastic as well. And it's only been because Pex and I have been able to sort of tag team this stuff and get things actually organized. So thank you for your faith and your support in me. You're going to see a lot of really great things moving forwards. Not only is my Twitch channel now more engaging, I want to say, with me eating these horrible tasting beans or answering questions about myself or Jack, you know, all of these little games that we've got going on, but I'm also drawing great maps. We've got some great people in the channel. I don't like doing shout outs because it then always neglects someone, but I do want to acknowledge the Princess Striggers of this world, the Wargaming Recons of this world, who has been incredibly supportive, Green Loontoons, the Tree Boars of this world, all incredible supporting people, and Alex Vixen, over in Scotland, a long way away, 8-hour time difference. She's in my channel almost every single night. If I didn't acknowledge these people, I think I would be neglectful. But to all of my patrons and my Twitch subscribers, honestly, you enabled me to end the year on such a strong note, such a huge, overwhelming level of support. It humbles me. It truly, truly, truly does. There's a lot more to come in 2021. But let's not forget that we're actually ending this year with Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth had 2 parts. It had gift giveaways for 12 days, whether we were doing in the actual Twitch or on the social channels in general. But we've been giving away cup designs, canvas prints, t-shirts, some of my personal collection of books that you can actually see behind me over there. We've been giving all of those away over Elizabeth, and we're going to keep on doing it. But one of the most important parts of Elizabeth to me is we did a Toys for Tots drive, and we had set a $2,000 goal. And last time I checked, we were well over $4,000 raised. So we did really, really well just on the Elizabeth and the charity giving and the gift giving front that we're going to keep doing. So you'll see it again this time next year, and hopefully you'll just keep on seeing that. Other things that we're going to see is we're going to start having special guests on the channel again in Twitch. We did that a little bit partway through the year in 2020. We're going to continue that though on a more regular scheduled basis. We're just going to be reaching out to industry folks, the writers, the artists of this world, the designers, the layout folks, the company owners, you name it. We're going to have them on the channel, and it'll be a regular thing. And we'll be able to hang with them. We'll be able to ask them questions. Maybe it'll be as we're working on one of their maps, but maybe not. And so that would be fun. That would be a fun new addition, I think, to the Twitch channel. And you'll also notice that my YouTube channel has had a huge amount of polish to it. I want to give a special thanks out, almost English. I want to give a special shout out to a bloke called Morgan for assisting on that, one of Pex's team. Totally cleaned it all up, got all of the video thumbnails cleaned up, adding intros and outros. He's really dialed it in, and he's enabled me to actually spend more time now creating YouTube content. We're going to be doing some special guides for the patron backers, but you're going to also see a lot of me reviewing my own maps. Alyssa critiques Alyssa. Watch out for that. Lots of short form content coming to YouTube here shortly, and it'll be one place, if you don't watch me on Twitch, that you will be able to see my special guests hanging out with me as I work on something. So that'll be fun. It promises to be a very strong, fun 2021 from a content perspective. I do want to say on that note that my Patreon and my Twitch both have a Discord associated with them, and on any of my social channels, particularly Discord, there is a refuge for you there, okay? You won't get any of the darkness of the world right now. There will just be this positive, forward-thinking mentality. So please feel free. Hang out on my Facebook wall, my Instagram, my Twitter, my Twitch channel, and my Discord. It's there for you 24/7, and I encourage you to just to come, hang out, chill, see what we're talking about, share your maps, share your miniatures, see what we're sharing, and we can ignore some of the other aspects of the world that are happening right now. So with that said, I feel like we're going to move into 2021 on a strong pace, a good stride as it were. We've got some great mapping projects going on. I do want to keep up and re-engage with my painting of miniatures as well, just with everything else going on. It's been hard to find the time, but I do want to ensure I'm doing that, and I will share it with you all. We're going to go briskly into this year. We're going to keep our head down for the first half of it, and hopefully we can start picking our heads up part way through. But watch for me on Twitter, watch for me on Twitch, Instagram. Watch for the great goodies that are going to be coming out of the Noble Dwarf. Cup designs, hoodies, t-shirts, all with great t-shirt or great maps on them. Some little quotes here and there. It's going to be fun, okay? Let's do it together, and let's have fun together. And honestly, together is where it's all at. while I can't do it in person with a lot of you, if not all of you nowadays, this keeps me strong. And honestly, it's extremely humbling. I have massive gratitude to all of you, every single one of you. It doesn't matter what social channel we're talking about. The opportunity just to see what you're doing, to share experiences, just to lean on each other's shoulder a little bit, just to have a little bit of camaraderie and friendship. It's everything, right? It's enough to empower us to keep on going. So with that said, let's keep on going into 2021. Let's lean on each other as much as we can. And it's with that I honestly mean I love you. Thank you. Have a great new year. And I will see you all next year. I'll see you all. And I'll see you on my social channels. See you on the flip side.